How's it going, everybody? My name is Jack. I'm a commercial pilot and a certified flight instructor. And in today's video, we're going to be reviewing the Garmin D2 Air X10. Let's get into it. I'm Jack, a commercial pilot in CFI. Flying has always been a passion of mine, and I love being able to share that experience as a pilot and instructor for those who are curious about soaring through the sky. I hope you enjoy today's video, that you fasten your seatbelt, and that you enjoy the ride. So those who don't know me, my name is Jack. I'm a commercial pilot. I fly airplanes for a living. I'm also a flight instructor and I teach people how to fly. And in today's video, we're going to be kind of going in depth with the other watch that Garmin made, which is the Garmin D2 Air. Now, for the record, I'm releasing this video as they just now announced that they have the new D2 Mach 2 Pro and the D2 Air X10. I have not got my hands on those yet, and I might sometime this or next year. So if you would like me to have a review on those at some point, drop a like down below and I'll hopefully get to review those at some point. But for today's video, we're going to be reviewing the products that they still have in store and online before the newest products, and that's the D2 Air. For the record, I had the Mach 1 Pro for a little bit and I loved it. It was great, but it wasn't fully what I needed. And I ultimately settled on this watch, which is the Air X10. And the reason why I settled on it is you'll kind of see here in a minute with the features that I settled on for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of treat this review similar to how I did with the Garmin Mach 1 Pro. First, we're going to go through the box, kind of show you what it comes with. Then we're going to show you the watch itself, kind of show you the positives, and then go into the negatives, and then just overall the theme of the watch and why you would want this. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Starting off with the box. We have the actual D2 Air X10, a little smaller, not as bulky compared to the Mach 1 Pro's box, but it opens up on the top, similar to the the Mach, and you look inside here, and the watch is already at the top. So that's the biggest difference. There's no like real fancy case for it. There's just straight up an opening for it. And then you got like this little foam protector here at the top with the watch itself coming in play. Then when you open the case up itself, you're going to see here there's like a little door on the bottom that you can either open up that way or you can use the sides. So I'll show you like this. And that's how you actually get the watch out. And there's a couple of things in here. So the holder for it itself kind of fell down because I haven't put it on because I don't need to. You have manuals in here, so pretty typical for a Garmin watch. And then on top of that, you have a cord that will come with it as well. And then I think there was some sort of warranty thing in there too, but I don't really have that anymore. So that's really all this is for the box. Not as crazy as what the other one was. But the cool thing about this though is it's straight up easy play with. Once you get it out, you can just set it up and wear it right away. Depending on how long it's been in the box determines the charge, but it still is a pretty good battery. So yeah, this box is very simple, nothing too crazy, but I do love the form factor and how easy it is to open. And then with it being the price that it is, you still get a big box. I mean, most of the Garmin watches you could buy like Best Buy or Target or any other local store, they're not going to be in a big form factor box. And that's because you don't pay that much. So I'm happy that Garmin still kind of kept the premium quality with the big box itself. You're not just going to throw this thing away, right? This is something cool that you can kind of keep on your shelf or something you can show people off to. So that's kind of the box for the D2 Air X10. And now we're going to get into the watch. So this is it. Nothing too crazy, right? You can see here, it's a little different. I didn't do this last time, but I'll do it again. So we have 3 buttons on the side here, and we have no buttons over there. The D2 Mach 1 Pro had 2 buttons on this side, one on the top, one on the bottom, and then it had 3 buttons here, with one of them being a blue Direct 2 button. You don't get the functionality of the Direct 2 on this watch, but you still get the GPS, and you can still launch flight mode in this, which is cool. One of the things that I really like about this watch still is, like the Mach 1, it has the weather on the front, so you can see you still get all the updates, you still get the weather, and it shows you everything that you need, which is really cool. You can swipe down, and this is actually what I really love about it. The software seems more up to date. And what I mean by that is you don't see a delay. Like, there's no latency between you touching it and you actually interacting with the watch, right? When I swipe, you're gonna see it just naturally slides with your finger. The Mach 1 Pro was a little delayed. It wasn't like you were typing on your phone or like screening through your phone. It was just kind of one of those things where it felt like an Android, if that makes sense. So this one is a lot better with the swipe action, which was really cool to see. In it, you have the similar functions. You have like the airport function, you have winds, and then you can get other apps as well. So for me, I added Windy on here to actually get the weather. You can also do weather on here as well, but it doesn't really update as much compared to like the Mach 1 Pro. So I just use Windy. But then it gives you the same thing, gives you like your sleep score, your altimeter, your stress, all the levels that you would normally want with a smartwatch. So that's the first thing that's really good about this one. The second one, and this is what I like about it a lot more, is the functionality with your smartphone is so much better, right? The cool thing about this watch is the middle button, you can program it for two things. The first thing I program with this one, if I tap it once, goes to music, makes it super convenient, right? Music on your phone is so hard to control when you have to just pull it out of your pocket. This thing, you can configure it to where you can just configure it to where you can have the button to go to music, or you click the top button, it goes into this menu here, and from that menu you can then select the music option. And that's what I like about this watch, is it actually relies on your iPhone for a lot of things, which is really good. So you're actually wearing a watch that is a smartwatch. It's not like its own little iPhone, which is cool. That's the second thing. And then the third thing that I like, and this is just a very quick one, just the functionality. I mean, everything's so easily accessible and it's so much more friendly in terms of customization. Right, you can see here we have a lot more options in the menu window up here. There was a lot more options in the D2 Mach 1 with like the flashlight and everything. You don't have a flashlight in this one, unfortunately, but you still have a lot of features that it would have in the actual watch itself with being able to fly. It's like you see here, there's the direct to arrow. I can click that and I can essentially just start flight mode and I can just tell myself where I am, which is kind of cool. In this watch though, when you click the activity, you just click the top button once. When I do click fly, the only thing that does suck, and this is kind of where the first negative is it doesn't really load fast with the modes. So for example, with the fly, I have to wait for my GPS for, you know, depending on how long it could take, like 15, 20, 30 seconds for it to like actually load and say, hey, you know, we're ready to go fly. That's the first thing with this watch. It's a little less good in terms of that feature with the GPS, but then again, you're only paying a fraction of the price compared to what the Mach 1 Pro is, so it makes sense. The second thing, and the thing that doesn't really make me mad about this watch, but also kind of gets in my brain about like, oh, I wish it could do a little more, is just the customization factor with like specifically the watch faces. Nothing wrong with Garmin's interface and how you can do stuff, but the problem is you still don't have a good option for watch faces if you want to add a little more things. For example, like your heart rate, your sleep schedule, your alarms, right? You can't add those in unison with the aviation maps. That's the one thing that I tried to look for in the Mach 1 Pro and it wasn't there. The Air X10, it doesn't do that either. But the reason why I don't like the Air X10 in this respect is the delay with that software being with the GPS. It also happens a lot often with the Connect app. So I don't have it on right now, but you'll see like a little thing down here. It'll say like a C and like a line. It just means that the watch hasn't been synced up. It would do that for me sometimes multiple times, and I'd have to resync it multiple times every hour, and it just was not functional in that respect, and it kind of drove me mad with the way the GPS was set up. So that's where the Mach 1 was a little better, is it was able to actually update and not have to worry about the app, which was really cool. The third and last real negative I kind of have about this watch is the watch band. It only came with this, so there's really not a whole lot of options for the watch bands. There was a bigger one that came with this, and then there's a smaller one. You have to go out and buy another watch band, which is fine, but I like the options that the Mach 1 Pro immediately came with the bands. You could customize it and actually have an idea of kind of what you want to do. But to Garmin's credit, these are much sturdier than Apple's. I've had an Apple Watch before, and I just went through band after band after band, and none of them just felt comfortable. I've had this watch for almost a year now, and it's still the same band, which is really good. So to Garmin's credit, you guys did a good job with the bands. So keep doing what you're doing with those. Alright, now let's talk about the form factor with the watch. So the real thing that makes this watch kind of its own thing. I kind of explained with the wrist functionality with the Garmin D2 Mach 1 Pro last time. The D2 Air X10, if I go side by side with the wrist here, right? You can see that there is a difference with the watches, but when I put my sleeves on, you can see that yes, there is a bump, but when I put my hand on it, it doesn't really stick out. It kind of just is there, and it almost feels like an Apple Watch with it being under the sleeves. You obviously know that you have a watch on, right? It's not bulky, it's not big, it's very lightweight, and that's what I love about it, is the functionality of this watch is so much lighter that when you flick your wrist, it doesn't even feel like it's on you, which is good. Mach 1 Pro didn't feel like that either, but when you did have the Mach 1 Pro at some point, it did feel like a paperweight, and that's just because of how big the GPS was. So that's kind of the real thing that makes this watch unique, is it's a very versatile, lightweight watch that still gives you aviation functionality with your GPS, with your Garmin's, but it's an actual smartwatch. It's not a watch that is its own standalone unit. It straight up needs your phone to work, rely, and to operate. And if you're looking for a smartwatch that you want functionality to interact with your phone and kind of have a better interface with that, that's what the D2 Air is doing a good job with. They made it a good product to be able to interact with any phone. So it could be an iPhone, it could be Android. The app is seamless with it. You can actually do a lot more things with it in the app and then on your wrist at the same time. And it actually interacts with your phone. It's not like the Mach 1 where it was own little thing. You had to actually go in and download stuff for the Mach 1 on the Connect app so that it could actually do its own thing, versus this one, you don't have to do anything. It just automatically works for your phone, and your phone sends a signal to the watch. And then also does vice versa with a few apps, which is really cool. So that's what I like about this watch. It's very lightweight. It's an actual smartwatch, and it will actually get the job done for what you want to do with the most basic level tasks. Now, for the price of the watch that you're getting here, I'm going to say this now. The review is coming when these other watches just now came out. So the price is going to be a lot lower. If you're looking for a watch and you don't want to spend a lot of money, I would recommend this watch. I think that if you want to try and get the Air X10 or even the Mach 2 Pro, there's nothing against it, right? You have every right to go get those with the newest technology. However, what you can see with the theme of Garmin is they don't really make much changes as far as like software and big general technology goes. And what I mean by that is they're very consistent, right? They do a really good job with keeping their product in a similar way every single time. The difference is they release a product every couple years. And it's not like the Apple method where they release something new every single year and then they have to just make it stand out like it was the last product, and then so on and so on. Now, Garmin, they really do a good job with separating out the products and making them their own standalone unit, but at the same time, they don't make too many changes that completely changes the way the watch would be. Like, for example, if you're going to go from, like, say, an iPhone 4 up to, like, an iPhone 16, now 17, you know, you're not, like, going from a massive change to a massive change. It's very similar. So, in terms of the Air X10, it's like saying you're getting the iPhone 16 for, you know, the iPhone 17 coming out just this year is kind of what I'm talking about. And Garmin did a really good job with making the products in a way that you can still get the lower product and still get the exact same value of what you'd be getting. The only issue is they add a little more features onto each new product that they do. So for example, the Air X15, they have a light. This one does not have the red light, but the X15 does. And that's just kind of what you're missing out. It's just the new features that they're able to add and kind of pack into the watch. But the software and all the stuff you can do with them, it's pretty similar, which is really good. Only other thing I'll have to say, the battery life is not as bad as people think it is. It is 10 days, and I've had it on 10 days for multiple times, but it's only 10 days if you don't use it fully, meaning that you don't have it on workout mode or fly mode all the time. If you have it on those modes for a consistent amount of time, battery life's good for like maybe 2 days. So you're going to want to charge this thing a little more if you're planning on using it for that. But for me, I kind of configure it to where I don't need it, and it just kind of does its own thing, which is good. So it can just stay alive for as long as I need it to, and then I charge it once, and then it just charges quickly in like 30 minutes, which is really great. My final thoughts on the Air X10. If you're wanting a Garmin watch that's built for aviation, but you don't have the money to spend over $1,000 on, get the Air X10, or try out the Air X15. That's the newest one that came out. The Air line is great. They do a good job with making the watches very similar, and they do the same stuff as the Mach 1. Again, they just have less features. They have more features packed in the Machs than they do the Airs. Although, if you are looking for a watch that is a lot bigger in price, has a lot heftier thing, The Air X10 does a good job still with the features, but it doesn't have all the tools, right? The tools in the toolbox, that's where you go with the Mach. And if that's something you're looking for, by all means, that's exactly what you want with all the tools to help you out in flight, which makes it amazing. Issue though is you can watch my last video on that. There was just some things that I kind of explained that just kind of made it make sense as to why they set it up that way. So if you want to go look at that, if you're looking into a Mach, you can check out my review on that. But if you're looking for a watch that's still a little cheaper and it's an aviation watch, get the Air X10. It's a good one. As always, thank you guys so much for coming and watching this review. Made it a little quicker because there wasn't much to talk about. It's a good solid watch, but it doesn't have everything. So I love it. It's great. If you guys want to see more content, more stuff that I'm posting, you can go down below and subscribe. Go check out the videos that I've already posted. I've started to post a lot more, which is really cool. We got a video base going, which is kind of fun, and I can't wait to post more. If you have social media though, and you want to see other places that I post, I have an Instagram down below that you can go click on and check out. And then finally, I have a website down below too that you can go look at. I post a bunch of things on there regarding training, regarding who I am as a person and where my background comes from. And then I'm going to soon be starting to sell some stuff on my website. I already have the shop listed with a few things on there. And if you want to go ahead and check that out, you can at the link down below. I'm going to be hopefully making some training guides. If you guys are interested in that, it's definitely something that I have wanted to do for a long time. And I'm finally being able to put it together and put it in my own words. So if you need something to help you study, you can go down below. Or if you want to get some help with ground training, if you need any advice, if you need any help with a specific topic, I also do ground training one-on-one online or in person, depending on where you're at. So if you want some help or you need some things just to kind of go over with the CFI, I'd be happy to help you out. Just go down below, click the link, and you can register in my form down there. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for coming and watching. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I can't wait to see another video. See ya!